Warning, this podcast contains spoilers.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for The Flash Season 1, Episode 12. Crazy for You. I'm your host, Clio, and with me I have Dom.
What's going on?
Happy birthday, Dom.
Oh, yeah, that is a thing. Thank you. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Did you like this episode?
I love this episode.
It's a good episode.
It's just... I say this every week, but it's just getting better and better, and I have a feeling that when we reach the finale, it's not going to be satisfying.
I'm going to tell you, because I can guess what's coming in the next two episodes. It's going to be good.
Well, the next couple, yes, but I feel like the finale itself is not going to leave us.
When is the finale? Oh, it's 16th,
like,
so... 16 episodes? No, wait.
We're,
It's the... Why don't they have them? They don't have it listed past the next two episodes.
Right. I think it's standard. I think it's a standard 22 episodes. I could be wrong. But
I don't know.
We're over the halfway mark, regardless.
Yeah, I guess. You're right.
So.
Well, either way. I don't think it's gonna stop being good.
No.
Doesn't
I have a feeling that just what they're building to, we're going to be disappointed with the finale. Just they're kind of building our expectations so high that it's going to hit the ceiling at some point.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Maybe.
We have a new meta-human. Madam Shauna.
She's pretty interesting.
Yeah. She's like Nightcrawler from the X-Men.
Except she can't crawl at night.
That's true. In the dark, you're right. No, you're right. What did Caitlin try to name her? Peekaboo?
I forgot about that. That was great.
She's like, what? It's my turn to name them. Because Cisco wasn't there, right?
Mm-hmm.
She should not name them. She's bad at that. So what'd you think of the jailbreak? She pulled that off pretty well.
She did, and it was a good excuse for Barry to see his father.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't even consider that. Didn't even think he was in the same prison for whatever reason. So, but
we know what reason he's in there.
Yeah. Yeah. But I thought it was weird that she left like a DNA trail behind every time she teleported.
Yeah.
Seemed a little weird to me.
I don't know. I didn't think too hard about it.
This is like, does that mean she has a limited amount of teleports before all her DNA is gone? Or, you know, it's like...
No, but it might mean that she can't teleport a lot really quickly.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, your cells reproduce, and if you lose cells all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And they reproduce. So she might just be teleproduced. Don't know. But yeah, no, actually I didn't think too hard on it, but it's quasi makes sense, I guess, as much as any of this does. Suspension of disbelief and whatnot.
Yeah, it goes back to a lot of the other crazy, like, things, like, how does Barry go to the bathroom? Does he go as much as regular people? Does he go more? It's little things that we don't need to actually know about.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I was wrong last week. I was sure that Cisco would not tell Caitlin, but he told Caitlin about the deal with Hartley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was actually kind of surprising.
Huh?
That was actually kind of surprising. I was actually, the more I thought about it, I was on board with you. I didn't think so, but...
Yeah, when he told her, I was like, oh, well, there you go. There it is.
There it is. It's been done.
There it is. He just...
Finally got that off his chest, though, you know?
Yeah, but that wasn't until he failed hardcore.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That he said he, yeah. But of course, Caitlyn forgave him.
Yeah, I mean, she.
So well, I mean, it's not his fault.
She's not
he
gonna,
did exactly what.
Yeah, she's not gonna not forgive him though.
Oh.
She has to forgive him.
Yeah, they're super besties.
They are. They're the two best friends that anyone could have.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, obviously it wasn't a smart idea to let Hartley out, but he did it anyway. Do you think if
he learned his lesson, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, now he's like, no one will ever escape from here again. And I'm like, you're precious because people escape. Metahumans escape all the time.
If it's the DC prison,
yeah,
there's gonna be a riot. I mean,
a
breakout. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, especially since your boss is the main bad guy.
Yeah.
Safe to say there's gonna be a prison break.
Mm-hmm.
So, in an attempt to get more leads, Caitlyn and Barry go check out a karaoke bar.
Yeah, well, I think part of that was not just the lead. I think that what Cisco had said to Caitlyn kind of resonated with her. If you really want to move on, you need to move on.
Yeah, so. But she veiled it in like, hey, I'm gonna check this bar out for totally job purposes.
Yeah, but they could have split up and checked out bars. They didn't have to go to the same one together. So her intention was definitely not the job.
Yeah, and Barry having been not necessarily blown off, but
yeah, to get blown off, you would have actually had to have the plans prior.
Yes, exactly. But when he said, I need to go help Iris with a thing, I'm like, oh, they must have had plans to do something.
Right.
There was no plan, and he was trying to be her knight in shining armor.
Yeah, it was literally just show up and let's make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, so he was also like, you know what, I need a bar too. Unfortunately, I can't get drunk.
Yep.
You need to spend thousands of dollars in a very short amount of time in order to get drunk. And even then,
right,
probably wouldn't work. Yeah, how'd that song go?
That was brutal. I mean, Barry's got a good singing voice.
Oh, very good. It was amazing, though.
I was super impressed. But you could tell that the actress that played Caitlyn was forcingly making it terrible.
Oh, yeah.
But
well, I mean, A, you have to act drunk, and B, you have to try actively to sing bad.
Yeah. I mean...
She probably can sing very well.
Oh, I'm sure she can, actually. But it was definitely the highlight of the episode for me.
Oh, yes.
100%.
I loved, I don't feel so good. And then they're in the alley.
Yeah, he flashed her away.
Boom. That was so funny.
Mm-hmm. But what did you think of...
Yeah, Linda Park sort of just...
Yeah.
It's like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, what'd you think of her?
I remember. Huh?
What'd you think of her?
I liked her. I mean, we didn't get much of her this episode.
No, but she's in a recurring role. So, Melise Zhao.
She's what?
She's going to be in a recurring role, so we're going to see more of her. But Melise Zhao,
yeah.
I think I mentioned last week, she was one of my favorite characters in the first season of The Vampire Diaries, and I haven't really seen her in anything since then, so I'm glad to be able to see her in another, fairly reoccurring role. We don't know how in-depth her role is going to be, but I'm hoping she eventually turns into a series regular. I actually just really enjoy her on screen. She's a great actress. She kind of played that whole...
yeah, I'm curious to see how they change her role.
Yeah, she kind of played that whole, like, I'm flirting with you kind of thing on the Vampire Diaries, and you didn't know what exactly her intentions were. She had like this suspicious vibe. So it's almost, to me, and I think that's why I enjoy it so much, it's almost like the exact same character.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to see how they change her role, because in the comics and TV show, whatever, she's the second Flash's girlfriend / wife.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to see how they adapt her for this.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't come around until the next Flash.
Right. I mean, technically, this is the second Flash, if you want to get into it, right? The Barry's father was the first Flash, but not in the show's canon. But yeah.
No.
But yeah.
Yeah, and that's also something interesting if they get into, like, maybe there were metahumans before, and Jay Garrick, who is actually the original Flash, was actually in this universe. That's
That'd be interesting, because
down the line.
I mean, that conversation that the two of them had, right? Like, it was like,
yeah,
he knows. He's not saying, Barry won't admit that he's the Flash, but guess what? Your father knows.
He's no.
Yeah. Did you not hear the way the conversation went?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like...
He said it without saying it.
Yeah, it's like,
If my son were the Flash, I'd tell him I'm very proud of him.
Right. It's basically, I know you're the Flash, just fucking fess up, but I know you're not gonna, so I'm gonna say what I gotta say anyway.
Yeah, well, he also can't say it in front of people who are also in the room.
That's true.
But, yeah. So, there was, like, the next day, when Barry and Caitlin were talking about, the bar and stuff, she gave Barry, like, a look that was weird, and I hope it's not, like, I may be into you now, because
I think she really is, though. Like, it wasn't just that, though. Like, go back to the night that she was drunk, and, did you sneak a peek? Because it's okay, you deserve one, kind of thing. And then there was, the whole, oh, just lay with me, stay with me until I fall asleep, kind of thing. And I understand when people are drunk that 100% of what they say may not be the truth.
Yeah.
But a large portion of it is. It's stuff that you would not be able to say otherwise. And I firmly believe that is her kind of confessing feelings for Barry.
Yeah. And in the beginning of the series, like, I was like, is it me or are they kind of flirty? And I didn't like it, and I don't like it now, and I don't know, I just don't want there to be a big hullabaloo.
Big hullabaloo.
Big hullabaloo. Tired of stuff like that.
I mean, Iris is pretty much off the table right now. As the current story stands, she's off the table. So it's either going to be Caitlin or it's going to be Melise Zhao's character.
Why can't people just be happy with themselves as single people?
Because of Beyonce?
I guess, that's true. But I mean, Cisco is like...
I love that you just go, yeah, that's the reason. Yep, and you just keep going with it. That's great.
No, I mean, yes, you're right. You're right. But...
If you like it, you should have put a ring on it.
Cisco was like, you're clearly not moved on because you don't have somebody else. And I don't think that's always the healthy thing. It's like, you can move on without having someone new.
That is true, but I can't disagree with Cisco that it doesn't help get you out of that feeling either. Because you don't necessarily have to have someone, but if you just, like, went on a date or something.
Yeah.
To just break that routine, that loneliness kind of thing, that in itself is enough to get you out of it and be like, you know what, I didn't need that person. I'm better off. I'm capable, I'm functionable without them.
Yes.
So.
And I hope that that's like as far as the thing between her and Barry goes, and like it doesn't go anywhere else, and they continue to be each other's
This is a TV
wingmen.
show. That's not what it's gonna. It's gonna completely be the opposite of what you want there. Did you just pull an I Love Lucy?
I love Caitlin, and I know we've said this in like the beginning of the series, but she's based on a villain. Caitlin Snow is Killer Frost, and she's a villain, and I don't want her to be a villain because I like Caitlin a lot.
They've had extreme liberties with the show already, and they could still turn her into Killer Frost, but make her good and use her powers for good, and kind of almost make like a unofficial Justice League out of it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't see why not. But it just makes me sad that maybe something... More drama. I don't want more drama. No more drama. So... Cisco takes Hartley out of the prison thing. And that wasn't a good idea.
It was an awful idea. It was probably the worst idea Cisco's had since, I don't know, the freeze gun?
Yeah. Yeah. Wouldn't be wrong there. But, I mean, he had a backup. He had the button. Also, where did Cisco learn to fight like that?
That, I don't know. I can't tell you. But I was like, whoa! What got into Cisco?
Yeah, man. He like, pulled some wrestler moves on him. Did, like, the duck.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you where that came from.
Yeah, I know. It came out of nowhere.
It was great, though.
And that got me thinking, we really don't know a whole lot about Cisco.
We sure don't.
We need a Cisco episode, like a legitimate Cisco episode.
Yeah, like what was he doing between joining Star Labs and where he's at now, or what was he doing before that? Was he in some like martial arts tournament? was he like a Power Ranger in his past life or something?
Was he the Karate Kid?
I'm pretty sure he was like.
Chan train him?
I'm pretty sure he's the Green Ranger.
He's the Green Ranger. Yes. He's an MMA fighter.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when they cut to him and Hartley at the in Barry's lab, I was like, Cisco, what are you doing? With no cuffs, with like no backup. It's like, oh my god, Cisco, stop.
At least if he was gonna go through with this plan, he should have pulled Barry aside and been like, Barry,
heads up.
This is something I have to do.
Yeah.
I think you'll understand. I want to take all the precautions that I can. I have this. I want you to be my backup. Be my wingman here. Yeah. Right? Let's keep this under wraps until we find out if there's anything worth exploring here. And, you know, if I need help, you're there for me. Just watch my back. He could have done that, and I think Barry would have been actually fine with that. But he didn't do that.
Yeah.
And not only did he piss everybody off in the process, but I think Caitlin honestly felt betrayed.
She definitely did to start with. But she knew when he explained what had actually happened that night. I think she understood, and she was like, listen, Ronnie would tell you you're beating yourself up. You shouldn't be beating yourself up. It wasn't your fault. You did the right thing. So I think she's forgiven him, but she's probably going to need some time to really be like, we're good again.
Yep.
Yeah. So we get to see like video camera evidence what happened to Ronnie. Him and the professor went.
Yeah, they merged. They're two people, which explains a lot now of why Ronnie's I'm not Ronnie, you know. And
yeah. So and that's actually how Firestorm is in the comics. It's two people merged into one with this power. But if it is like the comics, then they can split. I don't know if they're probably at a stage where they can't split, or they can't split for a long period of time. But I would imagine that's what Project Firestorm has been, a way to split them up, or a way to control whatever's going on.
I think Project Firestorm may have been them merging in the first place. That like...
Oh, I see.
Like the fusion of objects. I think that may be what the project was beforehand.
Yeah, because the professor was there with the like little box thing. And I guess that was Project Firestorm, but it turned into something a lot bigger.
Now, my theory is that they're going to end up using the Pied Piper and use the sound frequencies to vibrate and separate the two of them. That's what I think is going to happen out of that.
Maybe.
Because Hartley, is that his name?
Yes.
Hartley seems the most knowledgeable about the entire situation to begin with. Like, he's the one that put Cisco on that trail and showed him the video evidence, and like he knew where the fire emblem shadow person was outside the building.
Yeah, I mean, Hartley's been holed up for however long it's been since the blast, just looking up things, studying things, making sure he got everything right and his powers are under control before he went after Wells. So he must have amassed all that knowledge in that time period while he was trying to come up with a plan to take Wells down.
Yeah, so I 100% believe Hartley is going to be the key to separating them. Yeah,
that's cool. I'd love to, and the next two episodes, obviously, we're gonna hear a lot more from Firestorm.
And that's also going to cause some problems too, because of what just happened, having Hartley escape and like not being able to trust him, and like that's going to cause some problems of, do we trust him again, you know? And that's going to be a whole nother
trust Cisco?
Instead of a firestorm, it's going to be a shitstorm.
With trust who? Trust Cisco?
Cisco trusting himself and trusting Hartley, you know, at the same time. Especially Cisco's probably going to be the one most against it, because he just got through saying no one was ever going to escape again. But yeah, I don't know.
Firestorm and Weasel another deal, maybe.
He very well could.
While Wells didn't have that big of a role in this episode, looking at his face in the background when Cisco was explaining to Caitlin was very interesting, because he's just got this smug-ass look while Cisco's like, this is what really happened. And I'm just like, Wells
is just, now that we know he's the villain, not that we didn't already know he was shady, but now that we know he's the villain, we've kind of been watching him a lot more closely, and it's just, even when he's in the background in scenes, I tend to focus on him as opposed to whatever else is going on.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, what happened in this scene? And then I have to go and rewind the DVR and, you know, rewatch the scene and not be focusing on Wells. So he's overtaken my viewing pleasure. I have to see what he's up to every second he's on the screen.
Yeah. So what's next? I guess the last thing would be the very end of the episode. And I was literally just thinking this a couple days ago. I'm like, you know what? They haven't had a nod to Gorilla Grodd in a while.
Yeah, I saw the word
over on the wall.
Oh my god, I saw that, and I was like, oh, let's see Gorilla Grodd, let's see him, and all of a sudden there he comes lurking, and I'm like, oh god, and then he starts tearing those workers apart, carries one away, and drags the other one off the wall. Scene right out of like Jurassic Park with the hand, you know?
Yes! Shoot her!
That's all he had to yell was, shoot her! That would have been good. That would have been great. Oh, man.
I can't wait. This is probably like another tease, and then we're not going to get anything for a long time until we actually get him. But it's like
Curly Grot will be the finale.
I can only hope so.
That's the only way that they can meet our expectation. Because if you end with like them finding out that Wells is the Reverse Flash, that's gonna be like, no, that's not even fair. Don't do that. You know, like I think it's too soon for that anyway. I mean, we're only 12 episodes in. What do we have, 9 more if this is a full 22 episode season?
Yeah, something like that. And I'm going crazy because they haven't released all of the titles for the upcoming episodes. Like, we have 4 titles. And that's it. And I'm like, give me all of the titles. I need all of them. But there must be a spoiler. There must be a spoiler in some of the titles that they, have to wait. But it's driving me crazy because, like, I need to know these titles. You got anything else to say about this episode?
No, not really. I want to see more Hartley. I want to see more of Melise Zhao. What's her character's name again? I can't remember her character. I don't know. I think you froze a little bit. Linda Park?
Sorry, Linda. Yeah, sorry, yeah. Linda Park.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely want to see more of her. And let's get some more. I know you're not gonna like this, but let's get some more Caitlin and Barry. Let's get that going. I like the chemistry.
Don't get me wrong. I like their chemistry too, but as besties, I have a problem with, like, why can't people just be best friends? Isn't that enough?
Apparently not.
I gotta fall in love with everybody.
Everyone needs their fairy tale ending.
As long as Caitlin and Cisco remain best friends and it's platonic.
Yeah, I don't see that going anywhere.
I can deal with Caitlin and Barry. I can deal with it. I gotta suck it up.
Suck it up.
Suck it up. But yeah, Iris was really like, oh, you're not here to see me? What?
Yeah, that look on it. She was, oh my god, she felt betrayed, I thought.
I think it was more like super shock. Like,
yeah.
What?
It's like a betrayal shock. It's just like,
yeah.
You're supposed to be fawning over me, and I'm supposed to be ignoring you. That's how this relationship is supposed to work.
This isn't right.
It's not supposed to be the other way around. I'm not supposed to be chasing after you while you're with this other girl. The dynamic is shifted, Barry. I don't like this. That's what's going through her mind.
Yeah. Yeah, she does not like the dynamic shift. Alright, so next week, the Nuclear Man. After Ronnie attacks a physicist, Barry and the team realize they need to go after Caitlin's fiance, who is now a dangerous metahuman. They deduce the best way to track Ronnie is to find Dr. Stein, who was working on the Project Firestorm. Barry struggles to balance his duties as the Flash and with his new relationship with Linda Park. And Joe enlists Cisco's help to reinvestigate the murder of Nora Allen. I am so... Oh, no, wait, and General Ealing! That bastard's returning to Central City. I am so excited for Joe and Cisco to go on crazy detective adventures.
Yeah. Should be interesting.
It's gonna be adorable.
Yeah.
Alright, so Dom, where can the people find you?
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM.
You can find me at Clio Moto, and you can find all of us at ASOTV Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, MySpace, Gmail, and right here on YouTube. Follow us for more podcasts from some of your favorite TV shows. See you next week.
See you guys later.
We're in 5 minutes for Arrow, which will more like be tomorrow morning because I have to process and do stuff.
Summer lovin' had me a blast.
Summer lovin' happened so fast.
Met a girl crazy for me.
Met a boy cute as can be.
Summer days drifting away to the summer nights. So well. Yeah, that. That was terrible. I loved every
It's
second
amazing!
of it.
Can't you tell I don't really know that song that well?
None of us. I loved every second of that awfulness.